Shalom, family. Glory be to God forever and ever. This morning I want to talk about FBA and racism. Not in the way you think. FBA meaning foundational Black Americans, further meaning the children of slaves, child slavery country. But first I want to talk about something else. Sometimes we can get so caught up in the throes of battle that we forget a lot of things because we're so focused on the battle. I mean, what I'm trying to say is the smaller things sometimes, the important things sometimes get right by you because you're busy fighting. An example of this is about 2 years ago, I was in a room in the throes of spiritual battle. I mean, there was seemingly hundreds of spirits who had decided that they are going to overtake my consciousness. And it went down. It went down a good 4 hours. But in the midst of this, and it wasn't like you think. It was more as if sometimes I would block them. Sometimes I would let them inside of me, and then I would trap them there while I make a mockery. And this went on. I wish I had recorded it. Man, got to be more sharper than that. It would be interesting. But in the midst of this, and what it feels like a weight of lead hits you in the chest and tries to spread throughout your body. But at any rate, well, we don't go there anymore, and especially in Houston and any other cities that I've been to. The spiritual world knows that I fight back. I can choose to consume you, or I can hold you there, and eject you, all the while having a conversation about you and the rest of you as I make a mockery of you. 3, 4 rounds spread out over times of battles like that. And I think we have a unwritten, unsaid understanding at this point. At any rate, in the midst of battle, something hit me, but this was different. And the demon was fully engaged. This is who I was talking to, but this one was different. It came in, and I had to give pause. I'm like, what was that? And the demon said, that one died at 9 years old. Like, it changed everything instantly. It changed everything. I had never stopped to think that trapped up in this spiritual realm, God knows how, our people died who have died as young as 9, as children. I also understood that this child lived a life of abuse and then died. Wow. At that point, I really didn't want to fight anymore, and the demon left it alone because I think he wrote it down as a win for himself. And the night calmed down. It drew tears from me, and I was forced to rethink everything, which led to me rethinking other things. It was during that same time that it became known to me that some in the spiritual realm just want a second chance, and that they had been lied to. They just want to be properly judged. See, these are the things that can get by you in the throes of battle. Now, I look back in hindsight, and I pride myself on thinking of every possibility, every possible twist and turn of any freaking scenario, and I missed it. I missed them both. Damn. Anyway, here's on to what I wanted to talk about. There are those in the larger African diaspora that are saying that foundational Black Americans are exhibiting racism. The FBAs are exhibiting racism. Not exactly. Really, the FBA is kind of incapable of being racist. He's been here so long. Trust me on that. We don't have an equivalent of, say, Nazi skinheads. You see what I'm saying to you? At any rate, that's not what's really happening. What's really happening is a misunderstanding. First of all, the definitions of American words change seemingly every generation. The very definition that I was raised with now means something else. Example, racism. From at least 1950 until 1975, racism, the very definition was the oppression of a people by another people's government through its use of institutions and systems of governance, meaning pretty much policymakers. That was racism. Now, racism means that I don't like you because you're white. I don't like you because you're Mexican. I don't like you because you're one of the various types of agents. I don't like you because, man, what are you? Under, I definitely don't like you. And who is this nigga over here? He from Nigeria? It don't even matter. I don't like his ass. See that? That is blatant biasness. That is open door, unfiltered prejudice, not racism. To practice racism, you must have power. If you have no power, then you can practice hating that dude because he's that or he's that or he's that. But that's about as far as it goes, is you and your family and those in your clique, in your circle. Oh, okay? It doesn't go any further than that unless you pick up a firearm or you start to detonating devices. Then we on some different shit. But it will still be hard to call that racism because you still have no power. You had the power to use a clip of 13-cent or 15-cent bullets, or you had the knowledge to build a freaking pipe bomb from common shit you can buy at Home Depot, and some gunpowder and some ball bearings and nails. Pretty much. It cost you $50. Not to be misconstrued with real racism, which alters a whole race's life. Okay? That is a far cry from that. But anyway, back to what I was saying. No, FBAs are not becoming racist. Now, let's get to the misunderstanding part. Here's the biggest one. FBAs are not African. They have absolutely nothing to do with Africa. Now, let me explain this again. Back in the gap, Israel, Hebrews was going around either being assaulted, a man assaulting somebody else. It was hell. In between the time, they would assault each other. This is how we became these two different houses. You have the house of Judah and you have the house of Israel. That's a whole nother story. They went to hating on themselves with good reason. But as time would show in the Holy Bible itself, before they removed it, I read it out of a Bible in the very house I sit in front of as a 13-year-old. In the opening of Genesis, God is laying out who's who after the flood. These are the sons of these people, and these are the sons of these people, and these are so on and so forth. I'm not going to go down the list. At the end of that list, he said, not so the Negro. Not so the Negro. The Negro have nothing to do with Noah at all. The Negro existed before Noah. In fact, the Negro existed before Jesus. You get what I'm saying? The Negro is an ancient people going back thousands of years to the very beginning. See? At any rate, I said all of that to say this. This misunderstanding has led to what we have now. People from Jamaica or the Caribbean, people from Africa, different parts, or the islands, the British Isles or whatever, and they all have melanin in their skin. So perhaps if we can come to the understanding that we're fundamentally and biologically not the same, okay? That doesn't make us better or less than anyone anywhere else. It simply doesn't. I hope the Negro doesn't get it twisted in his mind. It is what it is, and we had a contract, and this is God holding up his end of the contract. As far as we're concerned, the house of Judah is the house of Judah, and the house of Israel have very real issues that they have to solve. They have become what they have always sought to become. So we have this conflagration of really two separate ideologies. We actually do, misconstrued as being racist. No, it's not being racist. FBAs have to delineate at this point because of scripture, namely. Secondly, politically, it hurts us when it looks like it's 70 million of us when there's really only 40 million of us. See? It hurts us also in the way that they can look like us and not operate like us. And in how they operate, it could harm us in the end. I don't think that's racism. I think that at best it's FBAs becoming more and more tribal. The House of Judah waking up and coming together as a collective, not racism. I mean, we simply don't have the equivalent of the hate groups that's so anti-black. I can't even describe it. We don't have that equivalent. So simply, you can't use that in the way that you would sociologically or politically. So we should drop the racism. It's not racism. Because one can become who they are without exhibiting any kind of negative energy towards anyone else. In fact, it is just the opposite. It's just the opposite. Once you know who you are, then you have the tendency to have pride in yourself. And part of that pride is not being a bullshit ass Negro out here on these goddamn streets or anywhere else. See what I'm saying? And that includes treating everyone with respect. Period. Period. Perspective is everything. Perspective is everything. And not only that, it's scriptural. I said everything, well, it is what it is. I stated, I don't want to sound like I'm God here. I have to be careful. I said, no. Let me rephrase that one. We said months and months ago that everything would be done by scripture. These guys, they can get jealous of each other. You know, like I said, there are 7 of us, and the 7 is 1, and the 1 is the 7. So when I use terms like I, it stirs something inside of me. At any rate, it's not racism. It's FBAs delineating who they are. And they have to do this. They have to. They're not in control of this anymore. They have to. They don't have the will that you think they do anymore. And quite frankly, you don't have the belief in your own will that you had anymore. You can't trust anything anymore. This shit's weird, isn't it? It did. It's weird, isn't it? It's like living in the damn Twilight Zone, ain't it? Get aliens everywhere, drones flying around, Yellowstone is threatening, war everywhere, AI tripping, freaky ass fog, snow that melts black, and then you have a walking, the talking, the X-Man, and walking around the streets of Acres Home. I can only imagine. Ooh, man. Ooh, how you perceive it all. Jeez. Goodness gracious. I wish I could say that I personally apologize, but hey, we all have to experience this. It's the Twilight Zone for me too. This is what I'm trying to tell you. This shit is madness, isn't it? It's madness. It's sheer madness. But it's reality. What hasn't been assaulted? What hasn't been altered? See, I'm going to tell you something about alterations. Oh, man. If something is going straight and you somehow make it go slightly left or slightly right, I say 3 degrees, you have permanently altered everything in its path. Not just in its path, but you've altered the path in which it was on, which was a straight line. It creates, anyway. We don't think alike. See? We can't think alike. It's why we shouldn't fight. The knowledge I have is for real war, a real battle against other beings like me. Not you. Being. Am I a being? That's curious too. Am I a being? I resist the thought. Jeez. Am I now a being? Hey, man. Is that in the contract? Because this isn't, I don't know if I have to sign up for all of this stuff. They're just throwing stuff in there now. But back to what I was saying. There is no racism. You know, as much as I talk about the migrant population, white people, I ain't let nobody escape, actually. Nobody has really escaped. And if I haven't beseeched your religion or your personhood personally, trust me, there is a reason, a logical and tactical and strategical reason for it. Not necessarily because you're good or bad. Okay? It's all a strategy. Don't take it for anything more than that. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. It doesn't make you special. It doesn't make you, don't get in the mindset that he has not done this because he's afraid. No, 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 no. Don't do that. That'd be a real bad move. No, it's just it's what I said it was. But in the midst of all that, I want to ask you something. Have you noticed any of you, a increase in the hate level towards you from the Negro in the midst of it all? The short answer is no. The short answer is no. Because what is built inside of him says no. For indeed, he is a holy people. And this is what you don't get. Sometimes I reckon he's too holy for his own damn good. However, that's me. It has nothing to do with what I'm actually saying now. So it's not racism. It is a must be. The Hebrew has work to do. The Hebrew has a function to perform. In the midst of all of this Twilight Zone-ish shit. Okay? And that's just how it is. And it is special. And not only that, God had an agreement with their fathers. Okay? He had an agreement with their fathers. God doesn't break his word. Ever. So, yes, as sure as he spoke it, it was written, and it will be done. The Negro will separate from the Gentiles, and the Gentiles who have chosen God, they will cleave to those Negroes, meaning we all getting the hell up out of here. All right? We all are getting the hell up out of here. That's what that means. That's what that means. So it's not racism, people. In many ways, it is survival. Let's be honest. America has become tribalistic. Can we all agree on that? Because or should I just go down the list of tribalistic features that you exhibit by race? That would be unnecessary, wouldn't it? If we just be honest. I think we being honest this morning. So screw it. Unnecessary. It ain't racism. It's survival. It's them waking up to who they truly are. these are things that we can never explain to you, because you will never know us this way because of the language barriers, and cultural barriers, and other barriers. Plus, we tend to talk about the bullshit. What I call bullshit: sex, sports, and work, or my wife or my husband and the drama therein, and then sports and work. That's pretty much about it. That's pretty much about it. Okay? Let's be real. Let's be real. Dude asked me what I what I what I think about the Rockets. They make too much goddamn money. They running their ass around here with a and don't get me wrong, I want them to make the money. Just saying, in the big scheme of things, they make too much goddamn money. They run their ass around here on them customized floor, customized sneakers, and then they make millions and millions of dollars to hit the ball on the ground while they run with it, and then throw it in a goddamn hoop. Now, this is truly a child's game that was created for children. So to tell me, I'm sorry, but I can say the same thing about soccer. I can say the same thing about football. Say, man, y'all make too much money. But I want you to make it, though. I'm just saying. I know that's hard for you to understand. I want you to make that money. I'm just saying, y'all make too much money. Get what I'm saying? Get what I'm saying? Anyway, man, the whole thing is this. At the end of the day, black people are pretty much incapable of being racist for whatever reason. Shit, you would accuse me of trying to make them racist. Because they so far from it. They ain't never had no damn power. They ain't never had no options. Shit. I mean, shit. If you, as a black man, if we, throughout, as history would have it, you think I give a damn what hand passes me a sandwich? Really? Let's be real. Let's be real. It's time out for all the bullshit. That's all I'm saying. And for the non-FBAs of any ilk to start this argument about FBAs are becoming racist. And and, nah, the Negro is on some different shit. That's all. He's on some different shit. The rest of society is trying to live their lives as they see fit. The Negro does not have that option anymore. He's never had that option, and he for real, most definitely, most assuredly, don't have that option now. He must fulfill his end of the bargain. That is what he will do. And then the contract is complete. Whatever goes down, goes down. It's gonna go down. I'm talking about in terms of the apocalypse and Armageddon. And then we start on a whole new book, whole new world, without all of the bullshit in it. Wish us luck. With Godspeed. At any rate, enjoy the rest of your morning. I'm Source. I'm Seven.